A classic Porsche in immaculate condition for 10 to 15,000 pounds. Count me in. What is it? Keep watching to find out. Welcome to Lot 76 Cars. My name is Simon and today I'm at the Bonhams sale at the Goodwood Members Meeting, and boy have they got a fabulous entry list of automobiles for us to see. So without further ado, let's go and take a look, shall we? So guided at 10 to 15,000 pounds is this 1966 Vanden Princess R 4 litre. Now the key or the start point is probably the badging. That's it. So it was a Rolls-Royce engine, a short stroke version of the Cloud engine that went into a BMC product that went into the Princess with some styling changes, and we'll come to those in a second. Pretty rare cars. In total they only built around 6,000, a few hundred for kits for South Africa I think. But you're not going to find too many of these about. The styling changes are really subtle over the standard car. Apparently it was a joint venture with Rolls-Royce for a new small car, maybe for a Bentley, called Project Java, and Project Java was canned. Some concerns about BMC quality, and BMC continued on their own way. Weren't particularly successful. You'll see some of the detail differences here at the back. Those fins have been rounded off on the Princess R. What will it make? Well, let's see, shall we? It's a pretty rare car these days, not massively valuable, but this is a very nice example. And something that should be in every classic car owner's collection, your own breakdown trucks. That's lot number 103, a 54 Series 1 Land Rover, guided at 15 to 20, but no reserve. Looks very period with the breakdown livery on it, the old RAC signs at the back. I don't know how good that towing gear is, whether you trust it, but quite honestly, that would be really great vehicle to have in the collection, wouldn't it? What do you think to that one? I quite like it, I must admit. More importantly, what do the bidders think? Let's find out. So if you've got a fixation with Trumpton or Fireman Sam, this could be the car for you. It is a Series 1 Land Rover 80 fire tender. No reserve, but guided at 15 to 20,000 pounds. Looks in pretty good order, as good as one of these gets for this age. Plenty of room for three. Families of three apply here. And if you see an odd fire on your journey to put out, then you are well equipped to help. Wow, that's quite a piece of machinery, isn't it? Talk about dual purpose. What do you think to that one, guys? I quite like it, actually. Will it find an owner? Let's see, shall we? So Alvis bought in a company called Grabber, a Swiss company, to do some design work for them. And this was one of the cars that followed it in the style of some of the cars that Grabber actually developed for them. So it's an Alvis TD21. This particular car is a 1961 TD21 drop-head coupe, as you can see, guided at 40 to 50,000 pounds. Now you can actually still get an Alvis. The company was sold to BMC. BMC didn't do much with it, but fortunately all the designs, the styling box and everything continued to exist. So you can actually buy a new one, but if you want something in period, this one is as good a place to start as any. What a super elegant, relatively spacious, potentially four-seater. Beautiful colour combination, isn't it? That burgundy with that very light tan interior. Well, will it make all the money? Let's see, shall we? Because I think that is a very well sorted vehicle visually anyway. So lot 115 is a Porsche, and it's a Porsche tractor guided at 10 to 15,000 pounds, but no reserve. You could have this immaculately restored example. Now Porsche were apparently barred from making tractors after the war, so they had to license their technology. The only companies making tractors during and pre-war were allowed to actually continue and resume manufacture. It's a single cylinder diesel engine, probably one of the first Porsche diesels, and Apparently the output could be as high as 55 brake horsepower. There you go. Well, is that the Porsche you always promise yourself? I don't know, but I have to say it is in beautiful, beautiful order. So lot 116 is offered without reserve, but guided at 10 to 12,000 pounds. And looking at past auctions, it might even make that. It's a very tidy example of a beach buggy. Now this particular one is one of the ones that was built back in the period, so it's not a recent recreation, and these GP, so-called GP cars, are quite highly prized. Now it is in super condition. Somebody has certainly prepared the car well for sale, but the bodywork, obviously glass fibre is prone to these star cracks and things like this, but the bodywork looks good, the tyres look pretty good as well, some quite chunky tyres ready for a bit of beach action there. Will it make that sort of money? Well, the sun's out today, maybe somebody will get carried away at the auction. Let's see how far that one goes, shall we? I must admit, I do like it. What do you guys think? Yes, this is an E-type, but the reason I show you this one, it's one of 50 ever made, 49 in black. It's a manual and it's a celebration car, built in 74. The last lap of the E-type, a Series 3 car, truly special. This one is guided at 130, 160,000 pounds. Big money for an E-type these days. However, the difference with this one is, if you look at this, being one of the last 50 cars, we'll try and get you in close here. Sir William Lyons has actually signed a plaque on the dashboard there. Now, the last one of these that came to auction sold, I think, for about £100,000 or so. I've seen them going back 10 years at £203,000. Will they be back up at that level? I'm not sure, but that is a very, very special car. Right-hand drive, manual E-type, one of the last 50. I think that one could do well. Will it do that sort of money? Let's see, shall we? So lot number 124 is a Porsche 911S, but it's a UK delivered car, one of only 44 right-hand drive cars built in 71, matching numbers, chassis, engine number, and apparently £25,000 has been spent on this car, and you can see it. Now, I'm not surprised it is guided at a pretty hefty 120 to 140, but you can see why with the quality of paint on that car, the depth of the paintwork, those Fuchs wheels, careful how you pronounce that one, and doesn't that look absolutely incredible? So you can see where the money's gone on that car. Will it make all the money well into six figures? We'll see, shall we? So lot number 125 is a Lamborghini Murcielago, guided at a fairly strong 175 to 225. This is the first car from the Audi era, still with this fabulous V12 engine. I did see one of these, I did check in my research, and I think one of these came to auction as a manual and went for just about 140, 150,000 pounds. So it does seem exceptionally strong money for one of these. Are V12 buyers in market with the current price of petrol? I suppose it depends how much you use it. It's a fabulous, fabulous V12 6.2 litre engine, isn't it? And it's a striking colour. A poster from everybody's bedroom there, or every boy's bedroom. Fantastic, isn't it? What will it make? Well, let's see. So this is a truly beautiful car. It's a Bentley Mark 6 4.5 litre drop head coupe from 1952, and it's guided at a fairly strong 140 to 180,000 pounds, but there is a reason why. It is the only one built by Mulliner of Birmingham, and in actual fact it has quite a storied history. So the first owner of this vehicle was the gentleman who commissioned it, and the initials might give you a clue. It's Sir John Black. Now, Sir John Black was chairman of Standard Triumph. He oversaw the merger of Triumph or the takeover of Standard Motor Company, and this was his personal car that he commissioned. And didn't he commission a stunning, stunning vehicle? Now, something about cars of this era that make them incredibly attractive. Trafficators there, It is in incredible condition. Picnic trays in the back. A high guide price. What do you think? I think looking at the condition of the vehicle, it may well be worth it. Let's see what the auction says, shall we? Lot 131 is a BMW E9 and it's guided at quite strong 50 to 60,000 pounds. Now these were built as homologation specials to really support BMW's entry into, I think, European touring car racing. Some of the things on the car look non-factory, like those wheel arch extenders, but in fact they were not, and I've seen period cars road tests and they do have them fitted. What I would say about this car is this one is perhaps not the best I have seen. I've seen others at auction make similar money and they've been in better condition. It is a great car as a base to start with, but you're certainly going to have to probably put a pair of doors on it, at least. It's going to require a little bit of tidying. It's perhaps not immaculate around the rear arches, so you can expect to uncover a little bit of rust. BMWs of this period did rust a bit more than the current ones, but there you go. Will it be worth 50 to 60? I have some reservations about that, much as I like it. But let's see what the bidders think, shall we? So E-type values have softened quite a bit recently, but this one is quite a special car, owned by Fred Rimmel, a national jump jockey back in the day. It's a 61 car, so I think from the first year of production. It is in stunning order. It's the fixed head rather than the 2+2. So a few people getting into shot there. But what makes this one special, it's a so-called flat floor car. Now the early cars here, I'll try and get underneath and show you for a little bit, all in the interest of science. The floor is flat here. There wasn't that much space for the driver's feet. The seating position wasn't great, so they actually changed that and put a dip in the floor to allow drivers a bit more comfort. So this is a flat floor car, probably less comfortable to drive, but certainly built in lower numbers. It looks in their beautiful order, obviously manual, which is those lovely rocker switches, knurled dash. I mean, these were probably back in the day, what, about 1,500 pounds? Goodness, if you buy one for that now, you'd be very, very blessed, wouldn't you? What is that one going to make? Flat floor car, but obviously in a slightly different environment than E-types of the past. Let's see, shall we? So this beautiful Maserati Sebring, lot number 134, is guided at 100 to 150,000 pounds. You don't see this come to auction too often, and it may well make that sort of money. It does look to be an absolute supercar. These were sold in such low numbers in the UK. To give you some idea, new, the price was £4,000 when an E-type was 1,500. So no wonder they didn't sell too many of them. And that rarity really tells now. You simply just don't see them in the same numbers. This particular car has had a huge expenditure over the years, again coming out of long-term ownership, and it's a very, very usable 2+2, isn't it? Certainly, what a change when you look at some of the later Maseratis in terms of the styling. I think that one could do reasonably well. £100,000 well, I'm not sure. Let's see what the market thinks, because I've been wrong and I could be wrong again. So campaigned back in period by very successful saloon car driver Richard Longman. Love the period graphics, Duckham's oil, remember that, and petrol by ICI. So lot number 136 has a not inconsiderable guide price of 100 to 150,000 pounds. But where are you going to find a car with that pedigree and that number of championships under its belt? And this 1275 GT Mini has really led a life. You know what, that may do exceptionally well, because you seldom see cars with that pedigree come to market. Let's see, shall we? So guided at fairly strong money is this SS Jaguar, not Jaguar SS, because it was the Swallow sidecar company. Sir William Lyons they changed their initials. Obviously around World War II the initials SS weren't too clever. So 225 to 275,000 pounds could buy you this absolutely stunning car. Now the interesting thing with this one, it was owned by the famous artist Michael Turner. who was a car art, but also I think a wildlife artist as well, and he owned it for an incredible 70 years. Most of its life, it's pretty much had one owner, and hasn't he looked after it well. It is spotless. Now, this is the sort of money these cars make. You're knocking on £200,000 virtually for some of these anyway, some of the best examples. Can this one make it? I think it probably can. I mean, the paintwork is not without the odd flaw. It has been used. Apparently it was his daily driver. But quite honestly, I think you would struggle to get something as nice as that. You imagine the restoration cost to bring one up to that standard, and you'd never have one that was had got the provenance. What will it make? Let's see. It's absolutely beautiful. So lot number 142 is this beautiful Jaguar XK, guided at 75 to 85,000 pounds. It is an XK140. Now the 140 apparently benefited, I think, from uprated brakes, chassis. They moved the engine a little bit. I think they moved the engine to increase cabin room, although it's difficult to tell. I'm sure experts will know that far better than me. But I would say this particular car, with its pressed steel wheels, actually does probably deserve all the money there. It is in incredible order. The camera, hopefully that's coming across on camera, simply how beautiful that car is. Will it make that sort of money? Well, it might. Values have been a bit variable lately, but one in this condition, I guess, with this provenance as well, coming out of long-term ownership, it probably does deserve all the money, doesn't it? 75 to 85. Let's see, shall we, whether it's going to deliver that for the owner. So this beautiful DB2, lot number 143A, is guided at 100 to 150,000 pounds from the early days of ownership of Aston Martin by David Brown. Got a very small frontal area driven by the Le Mans cars and the learnings from those. A very streamlined car. This car is in pretty good order. I'm not sure if the paintwork shows up, but it is a left-hand drive car, and that could be an issue for some. The car is open, so we're going to have a look inside while we've got the opportunity. I do love those door handles. What a piece of artwork they are. Inside, absolutely beautiful inside. But as I say, left-hand drive, is that an issue to you? I don't know. It's an incredibly usable car. There's a bit of space for luggage, not quite for passengers in the back. And the one thing I would say about the car, the colour does do it justice. Lovely finishing touches, coachwork by Aston Martin there. Shuts with a lovely thunk, and that streamlined body. I think that looks an absolute treat. How much will that make? Well, let's see, shall we? So this Maserati Khamsin, lot number 145, is a pretty rare car. They only built 430 of them, didn't import that many into the UK. It's a right-hand drive car, and coming out of long-term ownership, guided at 75 to 100,000 pounds. Now these were incredibly expensive back in period. I think the 25,000 pounds these would have got you probably at least a Ferrari, maybe a 400i or something like that. I mean, it is a beautiful car. It's been dinner troll protected. Well, that's handy because Italian cars are known for rusting, aren't they? Will it make that sort of money? Well, in some ways it does deserve to because of the rareness. We'll just have a quick look inside it here. Let's see what the inside. It does smell old car inside, that you could bottle that, but the interior is in pretty good order as well. I love the switch gear on some of these cars as well, and the rocker switches, and you'd certainly stop if that started flashing, wouldn't you? Manual gearbox, period, Pioneer stereo, remember those? Well, let's see how much that one makes, because it does look a very, very honest looking car. Is it worth that sort of money? Well, we're going to have to see, aren't we? Let's have a look, see what the market makes of it, shall we? So many of these Mark 1 Escorts come for sale, but rarely do you find one of these. It's a Ford Escort RS 1600, but it's a Group 2 competition car, originally built by Broad Speed Engineering, significant in-period racing history, and lots of bills behind it. Now, quite honestly, it can get lost in a sea of Mark 1 Escorts, but this car does deserve an audience for the right type of buyer, somebody maybe who's going to race it, somebody who's going to use it. It does look for a competition car incredibly good order, if I can say. Driven by John Fitzpatrick. I don't claim to know too much about him, but if you do, then I'm sure you can let me know. Let's see what it makes. I mean, that's strong money, 150 to 200, but let's see what the market make of that, shall we? Now, this Jensen CV8 is not all that meets the eye. So lot 147 is guided at £30,000 to £50,000, but the difference with this one, it's the car that Jensen never made. It's a Jensen CV8 convertible. It was actually donated and won by somebody on the Children in Need charitable TV event. And they've decided they couldn't reach the pedals or something, they couldn't drive it, so they've actually put it up for auction. Now, this is an absolutely incredible vehicle. The quality of the conversion is something to behold. It does look like it could have actually come out of the Jensen factory. I don't know whether it's actually open. It's not open, unfortunately, for us to take a look inside, but it looks extremely well finished. I'd be very tempted to bid for something like that because it's truly so special, isn't it? What do you think? So lot number 149 is an XK120 from 1950. This one's guided at 70 to 80,000 pounds. That's quite a lot of money for a left-hand drive car. It's got the aero screens. It came back from the States, I think, in the mid-90s. It's got some of the features, I think, for the early cars. I mean, the car was launched in 48, and what a revelation it was, 120 mile an hour top speed, allegedly. It's got the spats over the rear wheels. The condition is good, although the camera might be picking up some of the paint is a bit variable in terms of the colour, but you've got to be really picky with that one. But then again, you're spending a huge amount of money. I do like the plate that says it's an exact replica of the speed trial vehicle that was in, I think, Ubec in Belgium, where they did the initial trials for these. Will it be that sort of money? I'm not quite sure with those aero screens. How usable is it? Let's see, shall we? Now, this is a curious looking car, isn't it? It is a Morgan. It's one of 26 they made. It's a plus 4.4 with a standard Vanguard engine, and it wasn't particularly successful. Now, it's guided at 30 to 50,000 pounds. It does need work, if I'm honest. The window rubbers don't look too clever on this particular car. There's a lot of paintwork needed, probably nothing short of a total repaint. What will it make? I'm not sure what people will actually make of that one, to be honest with you. Let's see. Now, if you want more of a project, there is one also in project format here. There's a bare body in white, or whatever we want to call it. That's lot number 155. 25 to 45,000 pounds. Given we can have the red one next to it, I do question whether somebody is going to go that far when you can buy one that needs an awful lot less work. Let's see what the pair of those make, shall we? So lot number 161 is a 1968 Bristol 410. Some very small changes, detail changes over the 409. I think it got Girling disc brakes instead of Dunlop brakes, power steering on the later models and so on, maybe a bit more power. I think 5.2 litre American engines. It is a lovely car. They only made 79 of them. It is without reserve. It's guided at 25 to 35,000 pounds. And to be honest with you, just looking at some of the it looks a very honest car. It doesn't look if it's been particularly repainted recently. Love that Yale lock on the petrol cap. I wonder if that was a later edition. If you've got one of these, I'd be interested to know. I do like these. They are really a proper gentleman's carriage, built in super small numbers. I can see why somebody might pay all the money for that one. I think that one might do well, actually. So this rather pretty little sports car is an Allard Palm Beach. Now, Sidney Allard was famous for making almost racing cars, you know, gentlemen's races, big American engines, but I think he wanted to crack the American market, so he made these smaller cars with the idea that he could export them to US using Ford engines, Zephyr and Zodiac engines. In actual fact, he only unfortunately sold, I think, 80 of these. Now, this particular car was exported to New Zealand. It's guided at a fairly reasonable 36 to 42,000 pounds. The condition, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. You've got to look fairly hard to see some of the issues with this car, and I think it's incredibly pretty. And if you want something really rare, you've got an opportunity to buy something here that you're seldom likely to see probably ever again at another show anyway. Incredibly rare car. Interior looks good quality interior. I love how the instruments have got Allard on them as well. Yeah, I could certainly find a place for that one. What will the bidders think? 36 to 42? Let's see, shall we? So this 1980 Volante is guided, again, I think strong, 100 to 120,000 pounds, lot number 163. It's from a deceased estate. From a distance, it doesn't look too bad, I would say. The paintwork, probably some touchings needed on the paintwork. Would slightly worry me, it's had a bit of a dash of underseal. It's not, for a car at that sort of level, you would expect better attention to detail, to be frank. It has been painted. Obviously, it wasn't, the windows weren't out, so the window rubbers have got a little bit of paint on them. It's not a bad car by any stretch of the imagination, but is it one that's going to make 100 grand plus? May have a good history with it, but I just feel it does look a bit sort of prepared for sale. It has that feel about it. What do you think, and what will it make? Am I right, or I'm way off the mark with that one? Let's see, shall we? Now, for comparison with the other Series 3 Jaguar, the commemorative car that's in the sale elsewhere in the video, lot number 164 is a 73, so a year to go in production, guided at 80 to 120,000 pounds. That seems a lot of money for an E-type Series 3 these days in the current environment. The paintwork's in pretty good order. Hood might need a good old clean. There's some watermarks on the hood there, but actually it does look like a sound car. The argumentation is it worth that sort of money without the provenance of being a commemorative car or a celebrity connection? I don't know. Let's see, shall we? So lot 175, guided at 80 to 100,000 pounds, is this Silver Cloud Continental style coupe, bodied by Mulliner Park Ward. So back in the day, obviously Rolls-Royce having separate chassis until I think the Shadow arrived, you could actually send your vehicle to have a separate body, and in this case the customer decided, apologies about the pill in the way, decided that they were going to have this Continental style coupe. It's an absolutely stunning car. I mean, there is a little bit of some paint work required somewhere, but I'm being really picky this one. 80 to 100,000 pounds? Well, quite honestly, it's an awful lot of car. A really special one, very few of these made, and a real step up from a Cloud, which in itself is an incredibly special car. What will it make? Well, let's take a look, shall we? Lot 177 is guided at a pretty strong 100 to 150,000 pounds, but when you realise it's a relatively rare BMW 327/328 with the legendary 6-cylinder pre-war BMW engine in, then you'd understand why. I think they made something like just over 400 of these, seldom come to auction. A really special car, somehow found its way to the UK. It does need quite a bit of paint. It's had money spent on it. There's some pretty big bills in the history file for this one, apparently. Love the door handles there. That's great, isn't it? Will it make that sort of money? It is strong money, but it is a rare car. And I could only find one example that came to auction just a few years ago, so you're not going to see them very often. It's quite a shape to drink in, that one, isn't it? What will the bidders think? Let's see, shall we? So thanks for watching from the sale at the Goodwood Members Meeting, the Bonhams sale. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like, share and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks for watching.